Hey there, Dango Stu here. Today's video is about continuing our journey from Tangalooma Wrecks off Moreton Island to crossing the Wide Bay Bar, and is proudly sponsored by MarineEngine.com. The very beginning of this trip actually starts on the mainland of Queensland, just south of Brisbane. The week began with a quick stop off in Manly in Queensland to meet Damien and Jess and have lunch and hand over the lithium battery I bought for Damien. Thanks to Jess for the footage of Renko arriving in the harbour, and thanks to the good folks at the Royal Queensland Yacht Squadron for letting us tie up while we had lunch. After that we headed back to Cleveland to anchor for the night and meet up with some old school friends of Vicky's, Greg and Leonie. Check out their beautiful catamaran, and here's Greg up the mast changing the anchor light.
We're off shopping now, taking Red Dwarf to Woolworths, get some food. Nice little pontoon here. Tie up on the inside. Could actually even put Renk on the front for a short period of time. It's not a long walk to the supermarkets from here, so it's a bit of a good tip from some friends on stocking up. Missing a bit of his fin.
Yeah, he was in here.
Yeah, right. Poor little fella got it bitten. Wonder if it's being chewed or hit by a propeller. Don't know.
One of the things that Vicky's really enjoyed playing with on this trip is a hydrophone. This particular one, I'll put a link in the description, just bought it online, didn't do a huge amount of research to be honest with you. This one's called Dolphin Ear, and essentially it's an underwater microphone that you dangle on a cable into the water. Then has a headphone socket, but we've got a little Bluetooth transmitter on it, so we can send it through to the boom speaker and sort of listen communally. And what's really nice about this is you get to hear the dolphins talking to each other.
Little Renko sitting out there. Leonie and Greg off under sail now. Nice to meet those guys. Bon voyage.
From Cleveland we headed northeast across Moreton Bay to Moreton Island, where the Tangalooma Wrecks are. On the way over we also saw our first turtle of the trip. Not a very good view as you can see, but hopefully we'll see a lot more when we get up towards the barrier reef. Moreton Bay is also one of the main shipping channels into Brisbane, so there's quite a few large ships coming in and out. Coming in towards Tangalooma Wrecks, there's a set of leads on the shore there to follow. I'll talk about those in a short quick tip video during the week.
Not a bad day. Really calm in Moreton Bay today. Really nice cruise across here to Moreton Island. Tomorrow, going to explore those wrecks over there. People often ask about the bedroom, the kitchen and the toilet. The toilet I do is a porta potty sitting just in front of the passenger seat, which is where I'm sitting right now. So this is the view from the loo. You're welcome. Looking pretty black out there this morning. Quite a bizarre, nasty line of cloud coming up and over. It's weird. The recorded winds are double the forecast at the moment. So I think we have to keep an eye on how this develops and figure out whether this is a good place to be or not. looking at this boat, Avoniki, and that mooring buoy was at their stern a while ago, and now it's at their bow. Looks like their anchor's dragging. I think I'll give them a call. These guys ended up starting the motor and resetting their anchor. Now the weather's good, we're going to move inside the wrecks there, just in case it picks up again later on. Plus I want to explore the wrecks. Let's see if we're a little bit more protected in here. Less swing room, which is the downside, I guess. But we'll keep the anchor alarm and the anchor track on. Foggy out there this morning. You can hear the foghorns on the ships heading up and down the channel. There goes one. It's hard to believe this morning I was watching the square rigger over there worrying it was going to run aground. Now it's beautiful. Unstable structure, keep clear. Alright, that's reasonably ambiguous. I'm unstable too, so you know, we can bond over that. It's always funny when you're anchoring in the area and you think it's really narrow, and then suddenly you see it from the outside and realise we could swing quite a way on that anchor and not come anywhere near the shore or the wreck. Looks like a guy on the beach here hires out those clear bottom canoes. Might be something fun to do a bit later. Oh, these old boilers. Oh, there's even cleats up there, or bits, for the technical purists amongst us. Now, tide is, let me remember, going down at the moment. I wonder if we can get up in between there. Maybe this can be my own little private harbour. Oh no, bit of metal there. That doesn't look promising. If I tie it short. Am I being an optimist? The Tangalooma Wrecks are a man-made artificial reef. There's 15 boats there that were sunk in the 60s up until the 80s. The wrecks were also where I did the drift dive module for my advanced scuba course back in 1996. Oh yeah, this looks like a good tie-up point if ever I saw one. Oh yeah. Oh, and before anyone says don't wear bare feet, you don't get tetanus from rust. Tetanus is from a bacteria most commonly found in horse feces, I think, not rust. The clarity of the water is actually tempting me to put a wetsuit on and go for a snorkel. Not deep enough to warrant using a cylinder for. Alright, little fish. I don't see any fish here at all actually, I think it's way too clear. Despite the structure. Let's be honest, I don't catch anything when there is fish, so does it really matter? At least this time I got an excuse, I can say there's no fish. It wasn't me. Well, I've got to say, it was a pretty nasty morning, but a really beautiful afternoon.
Cool, asbestos. Mine had a much more interesting warning on it. Lucky I didn't drill it to hang any paintings while I was there. I was tempted, but resisted. Having equalled my personal best for catching fish, it was time to go back to the boat and defrost some steaks so I could eat. Alright, time to get out of here. Gonna head from Tangalooma Wrecks, where we are now, up to Mooloolaba. Coming into Mooloolaba, there's another set of leads to follow as you come into the harbour entrance across the bar. I actually ended up getting a little bit to starboard of that, and you can see there's a shallow section there, and it got a little bit rolly. I think I was a little bit blasé because what I'd read was the bar's quite crossable under most conditions, and it is pretty good. But it goes to show you're better off being pretty vigilant regardless of conditions and the particular harbour you're entering. Dropped the anchor that night and then moved to the marina the following night so I could meet up with some cousins of mine that live in the area. Making Vegemite toast on the barbecue. It's nothing to laugh about. The following morning we said goodbye to our new marina friends Nigel and Dale and started heading further up the coast. As you can see from the flag, it was quite windy that morning, but it was a westerly wind, so an offshore breeze was blowing, so we weren't really expecting any particularly bad sea conditions, which was good. So let's get up to Double Island Point, where we're going to wait for a good chance to cross the Wide Bay Bar. Getting to the pointy end now. The harbour entrance was very calm that morning, so no troubles getting back out offshore. The westerly winds did end up making things a little bit rough offshore, so we turned a bit to port, got closer to the mainland, so you're both in the lee of the mainland and reducing the fetch that the wind has to pick those waves up. The original plan was to anchor overnight in the lagoon just inside Double Island Point and then sort of do our homework, check the weather and wait for an opportunity to cross the Wide Bay Bar. It turned out though, as we got closer, that it was looking pretty favourable to cross that afternoon and just go straight in, so that's what we decided to do. This is Double Island Point we were originally planning to anchor behind, but we decided to push on, careful not to hit Wolf Rock. Before crossing the Wide Bay Bar, I gave the volunteer Coast Guard at Tin Bay a call, and they SMS'd me this PDF chart of the waypoints for crossing the bar. I then programmed those waypoints into the Raymarine satnav, and that gave us a route to follow through the bar. The sands that make up this bar shift quite frequently, so it's well worth calling and getting the current coordinates. That blue waypoint you can see northeast of waypoint A is from the Alan Lucas guide, and it's already out of date. The bar crossing was actually quite calm. It doesn't look it here because we're heading into a westerly wind chop, but there was almost no swell to speak of, so it was a pretty uneventful crossing. We did, however, keep a very close eye on the waypoints we'd set to make sure we stuck to that path and didn't veer off it at all. Well, we made it. We're at anchor. A little bit windy, everything's a little bit wet, but should be fine here tonight until the morning, and then we'll figure out where we're going next. Did
dinner is almost ready. God bless the Kuma and frozen meals. Looks like some sort of car ferry comes through here. Even comes between the moored yachts. Obviously not a cable ferry like back home.
Well, thanks for watching. Next cruising video you see will be arriving in Bundaberg to see Damien and Jess. I'll also upload a short midweek video on how leads and sectored lights work as promised. Alright, well, take care and I'll catch you then. See ya. Anyone looking for a steelboat restoration project? Yeah, could use some work. This bit's nice.